We naturally assume the universe is a passive stage. We believe that if we set a stone down and turn away, it sits there exactly as we left it, indifferent to whether anyone is watching. Experimental results have increasingly contradicted this intuition. The Koch-and-Specker theorem showed that quantum systems cannot hold definite values, independent of their measurement context. And the Frauchiger-Renner experiment demonstrated that two observers can reach contradictory, yet mathematically correct, conclusions about the same event. This led to the development of relational quantum mechanics. In this framework, physical facts possess no absolute meaning. They only exist relative to the specific observer making the measurement. This creates a logical crisis. If the state of a physical object depends on who is looking at it, the shared universe appears to dissolve. Reality is reduced to a private experience that could vanish the moment a measurement ends. This forces a choice. We must either accept this isolation as a feature of the universe or find a physical mechanism that can lock individual perspectives into a single shared world. For decades, physics has avoided placing the observer at the foundation of reality. The concern was that doing so would invite subjective or non-physical variables into the equations. The observer-dependent theory of everything, or ODTE, addresses this by providing a strict mechanical apparatus. It aims to recover an objective world using the very observer that seemingly threatened it. The theory achieves this by replacing intuitive descriptions of the observer with an explicit operator family. It treats the act of seeing as a formal mathematical transformation. In this framework, the observer is defined as a physical vector. It is a bundle of three specific variables: a measurable belief state, a direction of attention, and a history of previous interactions. Because this definition is purely structural, observers exist on a dimensionality gradient. An atom, a cell, a human, and an artificial agent all function as valid systems for reading and recording information. The mechanism that establishes reality is decoherence. When a system records information about its environment, the physical interaction locks that information into place. Consciousness is not the cause, it is a potential downstream result. The observer's state is parameter B, the belief anchor, filtering the universe through four variables: focus, consistency, emotion, and reinforcement. These are grounded in physical data: focus via neural networks, emotional coherence through heart rate variability, and consistency measured by cognitive task interference. The observer is no longer a philosophical mystery. It is an operational data protocol that can be measured and tracked. This creates a new question. If every observer is a separate data protocol, why is our experience of the world so consistent? Why do we all agree on the location of the stone? Parameter S measures the distance between perspectives. Banach and Schauder fixed-point theorems prove observers synchronize into a stable intersubjective fixed point. At a specific threshold, 1 over the square root of 2, a mathematical sign reversal makes this shared reality actually resist individual doubt, increasing stability. Because this prediction is derived from the core geometry of the operator, it serves as a strict test for the theory. It moves the study of the observer into the realm of empirical refutability. The stone remains a stone because it is the stable output of our combined physical observations. It is the point where our separate perspectives reach a mathematical equilibrium. If the state of the observer shapes physical outcomes, it suggests a potential conflict with causality. Specifically, the risk that an observer could retroactively change the past. The theory accounts for this through the inviolability of the past component. Theorem V star I provides a mathematical proof that while the future is a set of probabilities, the historical record is structurally preserved and cannot be altered. If the past is entirely fixed and the future is a mathematical result, it raises the question of whether human agency is merely an illusion. ODTOE defines free will as the measurable sensitivity of the future fixed point to the observer's internal belief state. It is a compatibilist view. Agency is the physical process of selecting a world line through the agent's own history and attention. We do not act from outside the laws of physics. Our internal state is the specific physical mechanism that determines which future becomes the fixed past. If this framework describes the totality of existence, we are left to ask why we cannot observe the absolute foundation of the universe. The architecture of the theory includes an observability ceiling. This is a structural limit that prevents a theory from achieving total closure on itself. This mirrors Gödelian incompleteness in formal logic. Because the theory and the observer are parts of the system they are describing, a complete independent description of the whole remains unreachable. This places the theory within the top-down cosmology of Hawking and Hertog. In this view, the universe does not exist as a finished object, but as a system that co-originates with the observer. In this framework, objectivity is the limit of high coherence. Truth is the configuration that reproduces itself across the collective.